Hello, sweet members of the Dignati. It's all darkness and spooky time here because there's like a storm going on, kind of like all north of me and south of me and to the west of me, but not here. But it's very, very dark outside. So I thought I would do spooky lighting for a second, but oh, that's bad for my eyes. So, hi, how are you doing? I hope everyone is doing well today. Lots going on. I have made the formal decision to completely nuke my life in every possible way and flip spin it upside down. So, well, I'm not going to be the prince or princess or even a royal from Bel Air. Yeah, it's going to be different. Everything's going to be changing. And so I've been working on revising my meta for my setting in accordance with that, working on changing my business plan in accordance with that, and figuring out like, okay, if I'm doing all this different stuff now, what does that mean? Because it's big changes. They're like little changes, but like are really big because like the focus of what I do as my day job is changing. Yeah, we'll probably talk a bit more about that as the stream goes on. But before I continue prattling, because I am prone to do that today, I'm not alone. I'm joined by the wonderful, the lovely, the amazing Cat Leo. And you know her. You are terrified of her stories. You live in fear of when the next one is going to come out, but you can't wait at the same time. Our wonderful maiden of chaos, the goddess of the dark, Lorna.
Hello.
Who is fittingly joined by sirens because
Yes.
they're looking for her because of the darkness and the horror. You honestly could not have better intro sounds if, like, maybe some of that, like, Camp Crystal Lake or something, but, like, spot on sounds for, like, everything going on. So, hi, everybody. Hello. I'm going to have to say this a couple times. Notice next Wednesday, the stream will be happening immediately following Jules' stream, the Dawdling Writer, because I have things to do later in the evening. And so instead of canceling the stream, because I really didn't want to do that, because it's the last prep time, prep stream before Camp Nano starts. So
Camp.
I wanted to do it still, so I just pushed it forward. So we will be starting, we will have been like 2 hours in by now, next Tuesday. So just so you know. Also, my anxiety's been very, very bad today for unknown, possibly known reasons. So I'm very jittery. I'm just very like today. So I apologize for that up front. How are y'all doing? I need to sample that sound. Yes. I feel like we're all on brand right now. The brand is. Hopefully y'all are doing better out there. But yeah, it's so much. On that note, hello Persephone. How are you doing? Hope everything is going well. Clickety clackety. Hello CB. How are you doing today? That I am excited to see you here. I heard your news. I am very excited that you tested negative. I hope all is going well and hope everything goes well at the dentist. Ooh. Yeah, I was sitting here, and as I was, like, it got even darker outside, and I was like, it's like spooky, like I need a flashlight. And then I was like, wait, I have a flashlight. I can just turn it on, and it's like super bright little light pad thing, but because I don't know, I thought funny. Hello, cool gamer. How are you doing? I hope all is well. It's dark room with ambient lighting because nope to the sun. Yeah, I'm kind of happy there's no sun because we're having insane heat here, and this is supposed to be the cold front that is going to take us from the upper 90s to the upper 80s.
Holy crap. It was like 63 yesterday. It's 90 right now.
But it's going to be 100 again by the weekend. So it's going to be a very short-lived cold front. But they're very concerned because all of the storms that are popping up have like 80-mile-an-hour wind gusts because
Of course they did.
they're like, yay, we can party now. Wah! So I'm keeping a very, very close eye
Party
on all of that. Hello, Stephanie. How are you doing today? Part of me wants to go in and do dishes just because I think it might calm me down, but I don't know. Is this the same summer solstice energy or what? This is interesting summer solstice energy that we're having right now because, let's just say the solstice was an interesting day. A lot of unintentional things happened that caused a lot of change in our life just randomly on that day. And mostly, I think, for the better-ish. Like, nothing got worse. Like, a lot of things were, like, kind of stayed on the same tier, but are different now. But some things kind of got better. Like, a lot of things happened. It's been a weird solstice this year. And I'm kind of, like, nervous for the equinox. Autumnal equinox this year, because that one usually messes my life up. That one usually is just like, ha, 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 you think you know, but you do not. Blah! So I'm getting a little concerned, and hopefully it will be for the better this year, but only time will tell. Oh my.
I hate getting up early.
Winter is coming. No, camp is coming. Right, yeah. I keep trying to remind myself of that because I'm probably not going to be doing anything formally for Camp Nano this year because of the change in business plan. It's going to be very succinctly focused on world building stuff. Because for anybody who hasn't heard, I'm going to be putting most of my energy now into doing the game setting and building that out and working towards doing more game streams where we're actually playing the game that I'm making. But the stories will still exist because I can't help but write them. But they are going to be more like flavor for the setting because I kind of feel like that's where my heart is, getting a bunch of friends together and playing through some of the goofy world building that I've been doing. Yeah, that just sounds like a lot of fun. And of course, getting other people to play in the goofy world building too. So, yes, maniacal laughter.
So I want to do my day job for me for the next couple of days.
If I could, I wouldn't because I hate that stuff. Like, no. Like I tried. I took the classes and went, no. No, I this is not for me. I no.
Normally, I enjoy it, but the deadline is like.
Hashtag end crunch time.
Well, they're not letting us do overtime, so it's work as fast as you can.
Oh, that's even worse.
Within the 8 hours, and it's like. So there's no time for human error.
So fast with a computer.
I know.
Or physically.
Yeah. Then we had technical issues today.
Yeah, I often feel like I am like, I don't know, some kind of weird like undead creature because summer is my least productive time, and it's not because like, woo, beach time, woo, party. It's like, why is there hot fireball in sky? Why is so hot? Make stop. And then it gets cold, and I'm just like, I'm going to do all the things. Woo! So
wrap in a blanket, light a nice candle. Yeah.
Yeah. I need the cozies. Like I need the cozies, which is why like the hubby's life plan is to somehow have enough money that we can buy a house in the San Juan Islands off the coast of Washington State, and like live in the cold mist and watch whales swim by the house. Like that's his retirement life goals. Like we're just gonna live in the cold mist and watch whales swim by the house. Like it'll be fine. Like okay. Like I like the cold mist part. Like you had me at cold mist. You lost me a little bit at island because I don't like boats, but putting the flashlight under your chin is perfect for camp. It is. And these, my dad got a bunch of these, and this is the brightest thing. Like I cannot point it at the camera because you can see, like I pointed even slightly at the camera. Like that's not even like a tenth of the way at the camera. You can see how it's flaring already. This is the brightest little light thing I've ever seen in my life. I call it my handheld sun because anytime the animals are misbehaving, I just hold it up and turn it on, and they're instantly like, like they're caught in a searchlight trying to escape prison. It's great. It's great. And it's just, it looks like a little outlet that you would have on your wall, a little light switch, and those two little strips are where the LEDs are. But it's psychotically bright. It's so bright. I loves it. Loves it so much. Yeah. The solstice was just blah, 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 blah. Hello, Catherine. How are you doing? I hope everything is well with you. Hello, Jennifer. Let's see. This is definitely the same summer solstice. Yeah. It's this
I've already
year.
done 4 shots today, and they're asking about 3 others, and it's like, no.
I mean, you don't ask for much, just everything.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of scenes. Yeah, summertime sadness. Yeah. I'm just. I'm in a place, though. I do have like what for me is the theme song of the summer. One of my favorite YouTubers who does fun like music in the style of videos basically did what if Typo Negative had written and recorded Poison by Alice Cooper. And it may be my favorite thing that I've heard in a very, very long time because it's so Typo, and it's so like how I feel about the universe right now. It's so wonderful, and I loves it. So that may be my theme song for the summer. I know I'm supposed to be a good queer and be all about that new Beyonce track, but which is fine. I likes it. I love me some Beyonce. Don't think I'm saying anything. Beehive, do not come after me. But I don't know. I'm much more in a darker mood right now with all of the changes. And with all of the changes, yeah, let's do that one. Picking a timer for the timers. Alrighty. That is not right. There we go. No, let's just go big or go home, especially with this one. There we go. So today, as we do our sprints, where I am going to be working on more of my world meta, where I am trying to find the words that I want to describe the genre I'm working in, because this should be like relatively obvious, like easy. And I picked like buzzwords that are fairly obvious, like space opera. But I know that I have a very particular thing in mind when I'm saying space opera. And so I'm wanting to capture that somehow because I am all the problematic. So yeah, right now it's just a bunch of definitions that I cribbed from Wikipedia because I'm trying to tell myself that I can just cheat this and be like, that thing, move on. We'll see if I succeed on that. We are going to be doing the Kaiju race today because world-changing events and summer blockbusters make me think giant destructive forces coming to destroy our cities. Because I am me. And instantly I see a xenomorph, and of course I'm picking my sweet, sweet alien queen. Because why wouldn't I? Double checking that I actually shared the screen, because I've been bad at that lately.
Excellent. Bad at.
I put 11 of them in because 11 is the lucky number, and they're distinct enough. You can kind of tell them apart, even in here. I do love that you have your choice of giant gorillas, though. Do you want George or do you want Kong? Like, which way do you want to go with this? And I also can see that there is a secret Cloverfield monster between uh, the alien that I picked and the totally not Godzilla. Alrighty. So, as we're getting ready for this, make sure that you have something to hydrate with. Make sure that you have your documents open. If you need to just chill out, relax, drift away into the ether, that is perfectly okay. Just give yourself a chance to daydream, because self-care is productivity for writers. We're going to get started on this sprint in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go! Hey, I remembered to turn the music off this time. The T-Rex one. Hey ho to anybody who picked the T-Rex. Hello, everybody. We are back. I'm back, I think. Yes, I'm here. It is still really, really dark outside for reasons that are beyond me. And I descended down a rabbit hole because I was looking for a quote, and I found the quote, and then found myself wanting to hunt down the quote in the original Latin because the quote that I found in the translation that was available free on the interwebs and the version of the quote that inspired me to look for the quote in the first place are markedly different. And that could be a translation issue, that one of the two translators may be wrong in their translation. And then I'm like, do I need to translate this text from Latin into English because it's of such vital importance to everything that I am doing? I mean, technically, no. But have you met me? So then I started looking for a Latin version of the text, and it just rabbit hole all the way down. Hi, Megan.
Hello.
Oh my goodness, it's yeah. So hi, that's me. That's what I did. I also followed two Instagram accounts that I found along the way that just randomly were cited in what were supposed to be articles, but I really liked their posts and checked out their profiles and went, hey, fine, I'll follow you. I mean, it did the thing. I followed them. Good promotion for you. But if you're doing a scholarly article, maybe not quote Instagram memes a little bit. But thank you for introducing me to some Instagram people that I didn't know. But anyway, that was me. How did y'all do?
I'm working the day job. 20 minutes left.
Woo.
The countdown.
And I just got here. I was taking a nap. I think I messed up my medication because I started taking vitamin C, and I think I took it a little too soon to my other meds, so it's kind of got me a little sleepy.
Yeah, that can be a thing.
So I'm like, okay, next time I take the vitamin C, I have to wait like 30 minutes after to an hour after, I take my meds and see if that makes it better. Because I have been sleeping all day.
I know this feeling. I've wanted to sleep all day because so hi Maggie, how are you doing? I hope all is well. Have not seen you in forever. Okay, so last night, today is the day that Disney basically decided to go, all those things you've been wanting to see, here they are. Because Motherland Fort Salem season 3 premiered yesterday, but it goes up on Hulu today. And let's see, the new episode of Miss Marvel is out, and the final episode of Obi-Wan Kenobi is out, and the Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness is out. And then that's not even counting all the other things. So Brian had this brilliant idea of, hey, you've been having the insomnia lately, and you're usually up when I get up to go to the bathroom. So when I get up, why don't you check and see if they're posted yet? And if they are, let's watch one of them or more, maybe. And because I have no impulse control, because my depression's trying to come back, my ADHD is running wild, and yes, I am having the insomnia, yay, went, okay, that sounds fine. So he went to bed, he got up to go to the bathroom, and then we watched Doc Strange in the Multiverse of Madness last night in the middle of the night, and I got to bed at like 6 a.m. It's fine.
Oh my.
And I'm oddly well rested. I don't understand. It's fine. I didn't even sleep in. Brain, I don't get it. But yeah, I'm so easily distractible today. You have no idea. Though I have to say, I am really upset at all of my comic book reading creators out there that I have watched do spoiler-free reviews of this thing and have mentioned how bizarre the story is in the lore of Doctor Strange. It's Midnight Suns. It's exactly the plot arc of Midnight Suns from 93. It's exactly the story. They just swapped a few characters out because Ghost Rider isn't in it because they're saving him for a thing, and Johnny Blaze isn't in it because he's weird and really hard to explain because he's basically like anti-vampire Jesus Constantine on a motorcycle, but not. And so maybe we're just not going to explain him, so we're not going to put him in there. And well, Morbius flopped, so we're just going to ignore that whole thing happened, but he's in the original story. And they just like swapped out some of the characters. But it's the exact same story. It's the exact same plot. Down to the beats of the plot and how it eventually resolves itself. So I'm very upset at like the like vast swath of comic book reviewers that I saw out there that are like, I don't even understand where a story like this could have come from. You claim to be like well versed in the lore of all of this stuff. They did a classic storyline. Mm-hmm. It's the origin story for one of Marvel's big superhero teams, the Midnight Suns. Which that's SONS, not S. I'm sorry, SUNS because get it. It's spooky. Anyway, like it's one of the main Marvel superhero teams that fight like demons and stuff. They just did their origin story, the movie. I don't understand why nobody made that connection. If somebody did, I'm not talking to you. But most of the comic book reviewers that I read that are like, I know everything there is to know about comics, didn't know that, and that upsets me. Like, this is your job. So anyway, if you like that movie and want it to be a lot more convoluted, complex, and have like weird babies in it, because there's a lot of weird babies all over the place, because the villain in the original story gets more powerful the more babies she has, because in the original story the villain is Lilith and her entire power is based off of like her power level is based off of how many kids she has that are currently alive, which is a decision that they made, not a good one, but a decision that they made. And you just want to sit back and go, wow, comics are really weird. Check it out. It exists. It's not good, but it exists. Anyway, hi. I told you I'm very rambly today. I'll basically talk about anything to keep from having to do the work that I'm supposed to be doing. It's kind of the state that I'm in right now, because my brain's wanting to do translation of ancient texts for a sci-fi project. Let me rephrase this. This isn't for like my schooling, my classes where I'm actually doing like that, like for schoolwork. No, it's for a sci-fi project that I wanted to make a quote, but I don't like any of the quotes that are available to me because I have problems and it gets me out of doing the actual work by doing even more work, because that's how ADHD actually works.
Yep. Yeah, that's another reason why I think my meds are not working today, is because I am very distractible and I flit from thing to thing.
You want to translate ancient documents that don't need it? Because there's like 5 perfectly workable translations available for free online. Why am I like this? Anyway, let's see what's going on in chat. Oh, y'all were talking while I was talking. Yay. Okay, so you have to remember, I'm coming at this from a very weird angle because apparently I'm the only person who realized that this was based on of comics that I had actually read. And actually, I think it's because of that, I kind of enjoyed it because it's so much better than the comics it's based on. Like, it's orders of magnitude better than the comics it's based off of, that it's kind of hard not to like it. I love the actress that they got to play, America Chavez. I love her so much. I want her in all the things because that's one of my favorite comic book characters. I was glad to see her in this. I won't give spoilers about some of the other characters that appear throughout it, but you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about, CB. There's one in particular that 6 seasons in a movie. Now. 6 seasons in a movie. I will not forgive you, Marvel. 6 seasons in a movie. That whole sequence made me happy and then very sad. Overall, I kind of enjoyed it. I felt like this was the most comic book movie that Marvel has done ever. And as somebody who's a really big fan of comic books, I enjoyed its just sheer wackiness because it has no pause button. It just goes, hi, we're starting. Wackiness ensues. Wackiness over. Oh, no, not really. More wackiness ensues. And it just gets more crazy. I mean, y'all know that it's a multiverse movie, so I'm not spoiling anything when I say that one of the multiverses that they go to, their paint, like, they're not paintings, they're paint. They're like splashes of color flying through the sky. Like, the sheer insanity of that makes my little Dada heart very happy. They were paint. They were paint? They were paint. Much better than the first Doc Strange, which I did enjoy, but I thought should have been a lot weirder because, my God, it's Doc Strange. Like, if you don't feel like you've taken 3 tabs of acid and then had somebody shake your head violently and spin you in a circle real fast, it's not Doc Strange. Because I read Doc Strange comics, and that's about how they feel. Because it's just like, wow, look at all the pretty colors on the page. Is something happening? I don't know. Oh, look, somebody got knocked out on the ground. I guess things were happening in those panels. Yay! It's just look at the pretty colors. That's what Doc Strange comics are. Look at the pretty colors. Oh, by the way, here's some plot points so you have a feeling something's going on. More pretty colors. More pretty colors. And I kind of got that from this movie. I have some issues about how they handled Wanda's character, which I don't feel is a spoiler because she's in like all the posters. Though I'm not unhappy with how her plot resolved. Though I need House of M. Like, if they're going to do this with Wanda, I need a full House of M and not just what we got in WandaVision. I need her to go crazy, like full on, be like, fine, to hell with everything, and actually rewrite the universe and enslave everyone in the world in a weird alternate kingdom where Magneto is in charge. And have that be how we introduce the X-Men. I'm fine. But I just, like, if you're going to take her this far, you need to take her further. I think that's true for all of the characters that they included in this. Like, you're so... Like, I can see them wanting to flirt around with their wackiness because is Comic Book Wizard movie. Like, there's Talking Minotaur Man in here, which I'm not going to go into his backstory because he's actually a character from the comics with, like, an elaborate backstory because comics. But they decided to just, like, not explain why he's there and wasn't in the previous movies. It's just, oh, by the way, we have a Talking Minotaur Man. Have you met him? He's green. And just move on with it as if nothing is going on here. And I love that. That's how comic book movies should be. Like, oh yeah, we have weird stuff. It's fine. Can we get on with the action? Let's watch some punching. I am really gonna have to sit on this one and get a better, like, coherent thing of it. But overall, I enjoyed it. Not my favorite Marvel movie overall. Definitely the best of the Doctor Stranges. I would say it is to the first Doctor Strange what Ragnarok was to both of the Thor movies. where it found a way to use the character in a way that is right for the character. So overall, kind of positive, but with strong caveats that I can't quite word yet. A lot of them having to deal with Wanda Maximoff, because I think they have such a great actress playing her, and they're not using her to her fullest ability.
Mm.
Like, she should have had a Meryl Streep like breakdown tears moment in this movie that just brought the house down. Because the event happens, it should have brought that on. And I don't know if it was the writing, the director, or who did not let that happen. But I know for a fact the actress could have pulled it off. It could have been in the movie and would have made the movie better. But I don't think it wanted to actually have feelings. I think it wanted to talk about feelings. And that's a discussion we can have when Fantasy First Aid comes back, because that's a big problem in modern media, where we're not going to let our characters
It's a big problem in my media.
experience their feelings. They're just going to talk about it a lot.
Okay, would you guys knock it off? We are not doing this right now. We're not playing.
Yeah, Brain, you hear it? Megan's coming after you. Behave.
My dogs are being miscreants today.
Oh no, Maggie.
Oh no.
I hope your bronchitis clears up. Bronchitis is the worst. I do not like it. It is bad. It is not the fun at all. Hopefully they have you on something and it will be cleared up in the not too distant future. Yeah. Don't even get me started about videos, because there will be a video out for me Sunday no matter what happens, but a lot of that's going to be based off of a conversation that has to happen on Saturday. Which I already feel like I know the answer to. So good news, everyone. If you wanted to get involved in the Pride and Prejudice anthology, you may get more time. I think we're going to extend the deadline, just so y'all know. Everybody's life is chaotic mess right now. And
I feel that.
I already had about 3/4 of the entrants submitted to me by this time last time in process. I have received one story. And a lot of, I don't think I'm going to be able to do it because life is a nightmare hellscape right now. So I think we're going to be pushing back the date, because I would rather give people, to me, the inclusiveness of the event is more important than the day it comes out on, and giving people a chance to participate. So I think that's what's going to be happening. So that's probably going to be my video Sunday. Ooh, well, you should have the wrench of power, yes? Make sure, Maggie. Yes. Don't forget to drop a link in then, because you have wrench of power. Use it. Yeah, I think it's more my brain is just wanting to escape from itself, because so much change this year. Hashtag not choo choo 2022. Yeah, we were just talking at the beginning of the stream about how the summer solstice was interesting for a lot of us. Like a bunch of like somebody hit the infinite probability drive, and I don't know where it took us. I don't know if we're at Magarithia yet, but everybody had things happen that are things that happened. So yeah. Hello, Eva. How are you doing today? If they did 6 seasons in a movie, that would be cool. Yeah. I know you know exactly which character I'm talking about too. There was a nasty rumor around. Yeah, yeah. I'm so glad that was not true. Yes, yes. There was a rumor that we were going to see, if I remember correctly, an alternative Tony Stark played by Tom Cruise in this movie. That one of the multiversal Tony Starks would be played by Tom Cruise. I'm very glad that didn't happen because that makes no sense. Like, honestly, if you wanted to do it for the lulz, it would be funnier to do, like, I don't know, Chris Pratt or somebody like completely random that you're like find like like Jack Black, a random comedian guy. Like put the Tony Stark beard on Jack Black, have him say something stupid, and close the mask on the Iron Man suit and flip off to another universe. That would have been funny and completely unexpected. Okay, play against type, right? But not Tom Cruise. No. Though now I can think of a character from Armor Wars that I kind of want Jack Black to play. And they are doing Armor Wars. So we need to get Jack Black in one of the Iron Man suits. Chaotic, as usual. Thank you for the link. Laura, any response yet? Very good question. Inquiring minds want to know.
I submitted it at 1:44 this afternoon, so no.
Well, I mean, we all know of your awesomeness, and we are surprised it takes so long for others to recognize it. What was that sound about? We have to compliment bondage this. Will do. There will be many nice things said. Brace yourself. Let's see. They almost made that. Yeah. Like, there are a lot of characters. Like there are actually a few characters in Marvel Comics I could see him playing, and actually playing well because they're so to his type. Like that kind of arrogant, pretty boy who has no right to be there, but is for some reason. Like, I would love to see him like get punched a lot by any of the superheroes because that would be amazing. But yeah, no. just no. Just no. Though it's also very much a Sam Raimi, like all that.
Yeah, Gloria was saying it belongs in the Evil Dead universe.
In some ways, yes. There's a zombie thing that happens that is just my life and my heart, and it made me unnaturally happy in ways that I'm gonna like need to go to a therapist and talk about. Like I enjoyed it way too much because I'm not really a zombie fan. Though they are doing Marvel Zombies, they did announce that one as well. So that is a thing that is also coming our way. But I don't know if it's going to be live action or animated. I don't think they said that way, which it's going to be. But they are doing Marvel Zombies. So get ready for that.
Ooh. Oh no.
Yay. That's all the fun. All the fun. Yeah, yes, you are correct. This is Laura's line, so I should not read it out loud, but Laura should. Come on, Laura.
You can do it.
Take your medicine. You can do it.
I am worthy and deserving of representation for this story.
Yay!
Yeah.
Compliment bondage. Laura is an amazingly gifted author.
Which is so true. Like, can you imagine being able to just spit out flash fiction at the rate she does? Like, I can't even comprehend. Like, I could not ideate ideas for
That
flash
fast.
fiction as fast as she actually writes flash fiction. Like, it's just astounding to me. Yeah. Oh, this was such a Kevin Feige flick, though. Like, you could see Kevin's hands all over it.
What, BA?
Hi. I am really enjoying the conversation, but we probably should maybe try to pretend to do a sprint in the not too distant future, maybe a little. Y'all. Oh. Yeah, there's that's the biggest problem that I have about being here. Like, I don't want to move back to Maryland, but I have like zero allergies in Maryland, and I have even, and I said like because there's a couple things out there that I am still allergic to, but California I had none until I found out I was allergic to gardenias because our landlord planted gardenias at the apartment complex that we lived in, and I realized, oh, I'm allergic to gardenia. Did not know that.
Gardenias are so pretty.
They're gorgeous, and apparently they like to make babies in my face. I don't understand why the pollen needs to get up in there and get all nasty, but the sneezing is like, I turn into something from a Ghostbusters movie. It's bad. It's just bad.
Green slime and all.
Oh, it's bad. It's bad. I did not know this before, and it took me forever to figure out what it was because I would get a whiff of like, I smell something kind of fresh and soapy, and then I would start sneezing, and I was convinced it was one of the new products that we had bought, like it was the dish soap, or because the only thing that my brain latched onto is this kind of soapy smell, and so we changed our shampoo, we changed the body wash, we changed the dish soap, we changed like everything out until we finally realized there are new bushes in the backyard that we never go to because why? Like that's where the weird Satanist murder lady who lives downstairs spends all of her time drawing murder Satan art in chalk. Like, why would we go down there? Why would we ever go down there? But apparently somebody did go down there and knew gardenias.
Stop it. I think Persephone's comment is funny.
Laura.
What, BA?
Main control freak director voice once more with feeling.
Once more with feeling. You're allergic to gardenia oil, but not fresh gardenias. That is cool. I do rather enjoy the smell of them, and I think they're beautiful. My face, not so much. I thought I was allergic to our roses. I thought I had gained an allergic reaction to our roses because I'm a firm believer of if I have to live around these monsters, there will be something with thorns under every window.
I have been dropping a weave, sir, honest.
Highly recommend. And I went outside and smelled and the smell of the roses hit me, and I was like, oh, I love the smell of roses. And then I started sneezing like mad because I didn't realize that the tree on the other side in the neighbor's yard had bloomed. And so for a wee little bit, I had this morbid fear early this spring that I had become allergic to the smell of roses.
Oh, no.
And it made me so sad. But luckily, no, it was the evil tree pollen. Because evil tree pollen be evil tree. Yeah, this is true. I mean, yeah.
I like this idea.
I mean, I could tell you more about her. Like, I could tell you everything about her because she was mildly obsessed with me and kept taping naked Polaroids to our front door anytime I went out, so that when I came home, there would be Polaroids of her on the front door that I would see without asking for them. Yeah, she was all the problematics. She was all the problematics, like every single one of them. But yeah, she would sit in the backyard drawing pentagrams on the ground in white and red chalk and screaming for Satan to do things at her bidding because she had nothing better to do, I guess. I don't know. She yeah. It was really weird because we were like cursed to have a weird religious themed problematic downstairs neighbor because the neighbor we had before her was weird, bang on my door and complain that I was playing Amazing Grace too loud, which wasn't. And I kept trying to explain to her, I think your dead father is haunting you. Because her father died in the apartment and then she just snuck in there and took the apartment. And I know for a fact that he had feelings about her because she never visited and stuff. And I'm like, I don't know where you're hearing Amazing Grace from, but it's not me. I didn't hear Amazing Grace at all. You're the only one hearing Amazing Grace. I think your dad is haunting you. But she would come up like all the time and like bang on the door, turn down that music. And I'm like, I don't have music on right now. I'm watching the Rosie O'Donnell show. And she's just like, but I heard Amazing Grace. I'm like, it wasn't from here. Not me.
Oh, man.
And then she moved out and then we got Crazy Satan Lady. So we were just... Yeah, it was the theme of the apartment downstairs. There was going to be a weird, problematic religious thing downstairs, no matter what. But the rent was cheap, so we did not move. Because if you've ever been to California, if you can stomach living at a place and the rent is really, really good, you'll put up with a lot. Like, there was a crack in our back wall that I was sure that, like, the next earthquake, the entire back of our apartment was just going to slide into.
I thought you were going to say, like, tentacles would come through.
Oh, no. I was
just,
any moment now, like, every time we had an earthquake, I would just stare at that wall like, is this the time that you fall? Because the crack would get bigger. And, like, we called the, like, people that come out and do the inspections. They're like, you see, the building was built in 1934, so there's nothing we can really do about it because it's grandfathered in to all the codes. And I'm just like, I don't think that that's true. And they were like, don't call us again, and left. So that was all that we could do. And it just got bigger every time we had an earthquake. And I just kept waiting for the wall to just like fly away. Right? Oh my goodness. Just one of these days over in Discord, because I'm not putting it anywhere that is recorded, I'll tell more stories about her because she was a trip. She could have a novel based on her, and she would make a very good, like, you could go like very M. Night Shyamalama with her, and like, is she actually possessed or just crazy? There's a twist. She's really the devil. Thing with her, where you can do a lot of different kinds of stories with her. But yeah, sometime in the Discord, we'll talk about that because she was an experience. Alrighty. Let us say goodbye to, I'm going to name you Sue because Sue is my favorite T-Rex. Mainly because of all of the drama surrounding her. And those who know me know, I love a good drama. And there was so much drama around the Sue. So, goodbye, Sue. May you have fun. I'm sticking with my xenomorph.
I'm gonna choose. I think I'm gonna choose the white gorilla.
George.
My grandfather's name was George.
Okay, I'm just going to say this because I say this every time we talk about George. It is unfair how entertaining The Rock's Rampage movie is. Because it's based on a video game that has no plot. There is no story to that video game. It's just, oh no, giant monsters are tearing the building down, and you get to play the giant monsters and destroy the building before you get shot by the bad guys. Yay. Subversive. And it's all like 8-bit Wreck-It Ralph style fighting. So there really isn't anything they should have been able to make a movie out of. But that Rampage movie, one of the best kaiju movies I've seen in a while. Like, there are moments that kind of give you the feels a little bit, and they shouldn't, because is stupid action movie with a giant alligator, a giant wolf, and a giant gorilla, and The Rock doing his best not to emote at all. Should not be entertaining. Somehow, it found a way. Alrighty. Make sure you are saving your stuff. Make sure that you are taking care of yourself, that you have something to hydrate with. And if you need an emergency light, make sure Make sure you have your emergency camp light ready so that you can go into spooky mode whenever you need to. Let us get started with this sprint in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go! I just jumped completely out of my body for a second and had to shove myself back in. Oh, I was into what I was writing. Okay. Hi. I'm back. It was the robot thingy that we think it may be a Jaeger. Number 11. Number 11. So if you chose either of those two things, you wins. Oh my goodness. I was not prepared for sudden clapping, and that was how's everybody else doing? Is everybody still in their bodies? Oh my
Finally off work.
Woo! I'm playing this stupid game that Cat got me into. The Eidolon game. It's very addicting.
That's why I don't play idle games. Oh,
I microwave my enchiladas.
Ooh, enchiladas.
And I have an idea for a poison in my flash fiction that's turning into a short story, and I think it's going to be aconite.
ooh.
So it's a witch in the medieval times. She's in her 70s and bumps off her dad, who's in his 90s, to finally get out from under his thumb. So I think she's poisoning him. She's using pewter, so like already there's a red flag. But like, I think we're going with aconite in the porridge. But I don't know what it tastes like the symptoms. Yeah.
It smells almost like mesquite.
Oh.
So I started laughing when you said that because the wonderful song by Incubus Succubus, Belladonna and Aconite, started going through my head. Which, if you've never heard, they are a pagan rock goth band from the 90s. I rather enjoy them. Love their lead singer's voice. Like, I love her voice so much. But the opening lines to the song are Belladonna and Aconite, give to me the gift of flight, take me on ever into the night.
Mhm.
Because in traditional witchery, Belladonna and Aconite are burned with the incense to make everybody a little bit high. They're called flying incenses.
Mm-hmm.
And so, having, as I've often talked about, spent way too many hours around pagan bonfires, I'm very familiar with the scent of burning aconite, because you'll just be sitting there like having a lovely conversation and somebody runs through and throws some into the fire, because that's a thing that happens. And yeah, there's a certain giddy lightheadedness that they bring about, which is why they are burned in the fire to begin with.
Mm.
Do not try this at home, kids. I am not endorsing this thing. I'm just saying it is a thing that happens. I'm speaking
We'll walk off your
historically rather than prescriptively. Hello, Spence. Ooh, leg.
Is there a giant squid in it?
I love how you went Harry Potter and I immediately went Camp Crystal Lake.
Yeah, I noticed.
Like, instantly, like, were you chased by a machete wielding?
You're muted.
Somehow.
It said I didn't have a microphone.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, it popped up a warning. Let me check my plugs.
Ooh, walking a little bit, dude.
Okay, all of my plugs are plugged, so I don't know, but it popped up a thing across the thing of it. You have no microphone. Okay.
Oh, what do you call this?
Wait a minute. It just did it again when I picked up the mic. Every time I pick up the mic, it's saying I don't have a microphone.
Oh, so it must be the wire connecting the mic?
When I shake the wire, it doesn't do it. I don't understand.
Are you meant to?
I'm just going to point at it and go, further solstice weirdness.
Yes.
But at least, I mean, it's not a mystery solved because I don't know why it's doing it, but I at least know what caused it, maybe? I don't know. Stoof.
Stiffy stuff. Does
Yeah.
aconite need full sunlight to grow? Do you know,
Uh,
or can
I
she grow it discreetly?
I do not know. I do know that if memory serves, and always track me because my memory is trash sometimes, especially dealing with plant facts, I believe aconite is also known as wolfsbane.
Yes.
And I believe wolfsbane has to be grown in the shadows. But
Yay! Okay, good. You can hide it under her bed.
that is my memory telling me this, and not necessarily. Like, I have the blackest of black thumbs. Like, do you want a plant to die? Do you have a tree in your front yard that you wish wasn't there anymore? Bring me there. Let me touch it. Unfortunately, I get no benefits from this. Like, it would be nice if, like, I could, like, suck the life out of it and feel better. Like, I would destroy small forests
Of some
to
sort.
feel better. Because that would be lovely. But, no, I can just... Whoop, you will die soon now. I have... My touch is the kiss of death to most plants. Let's see. It does kind of look like Optimus Prime. Speaking of which, it is the anniversary of the Cybertronic Spree's wonderful music video release of a Cybertronic Warrior. So if you've not seen that and you like 80s hair metal and just thought to yourself, why isn't my 80s hair metal brought to me by a ragtag band of robots from Canada? Please check them out. They're amazing. I have all of their albums and hope to see them on tour sometime. One of my favorite bands.
Little munchkin. You have a knot in your hair.
148 words for the CB. Snaps for you. I love how I went right into my Morticia snaps. Like, across my hands and everything. They weren't even initially in that state. Yes, it is also known as monkshood in wolfsbane. It's a really pretty flower. It's even pretty when dried.
I thought you were going to pull one out. I was like, wow.
Not that witchy. I'm close, but I'm not that witchy.
You don't have garlands of florals drying along your rafters.
Again, see these hands. They kill all plants. I tried to dry.
They're already picked. They're drying.
No. You don't understand. Molding can occur.
Oh,
I actually bought a drying rack with the fan, the temperature control, everything, so I could dry flowers because I wanted to dry some flowers. And I picked them. I put them in there. I set the whole machine up. I turned it on. Nothing was set wrong. I had people double check it, and everything was supposedly set right, and everything molded into disgusting gray goop. These hands cannot touch plants. I don't know why.
So sometimes we would dry flowers and then make paper and put the dried flowers in the paper. It was really fun as a kid.
That's almost more terrifying. Just children. No! Not the kids. No.
Buttons.
Oh, I want Sloppy Joes. I was feeling so bad the other day. And Dad was trying to tempt me to come up for a visit and was like tempting me with Super Burger, which is kind of a Sloppy Joe thing. That's basically vegetarian vegetable soup mixed into hamburger with some ketchup and mustard thrown in, and you cook it all together, and it makes this sloppy, gooey, nummy, num. It's so good. It's so good. It's crack on bun. It's what it is. It's so good.
That's what I meant, Spess. We pressed the flowers.
That's how I knew I was really feeling bad, is I could not be tempted even by one of my favorite trash meals of all time. homemade garlic bread with sauce.
Ooh.
Okay, so now I want all of this. Like, yes. I want sloppy. Ooh, that's just too many carbs, isn't it? Sloppy joes with garlic bread with like dipping sauce on the side, and like, right? Garlic bread is so good. Though Brian did make snickerdoodles last night because he wanted to surprise me with them because I had no idea. Because again, I was feeling really bad yesterday still, and he just came out of the kitchen and went, "Plate of I'm sorry cookies, feel better." And I was like, "Aw," which means there will probably be more tonight because he makes up a huge batch and freezes half the dough, and then because all you have to do is roll them up and put them on the pan and cook them. So he rolls a bunch of them up and freezes them, and then you can just pull out however many cookies you want and make them. And so be more tonight. I'm very excited.
Jeez.
Okay, so you know how if you don't stir your compost, it can catch fire? So when
I did not know this.
Yeah, this is why you have to stir your compost because the chemical heat of everything breaking down will eventually get to a point hot enough that it can combust and start fires. So that's why you see people turning their compost in like compost bins have the wheel on the side for you to turn them. That's not to mix it up, like but mix the new stuff in with the old stuff. It's to spread the heat out so that it doesn't spontaneously combust. Yeah. I learned about this fact because when I was a kid, I used to like to collect leaves and flowers and stuff, and I would put them in a book and I would press them into a book. And then, so the book didn't burn, but it did smolder a bit and there was smoke. You don't understand. I am not allowed plants. I have roses in my front yard because I planted them and walked away. Actually, I didn't plant them. Brian planted them, and we walked away. We have done nothing. Okay, every couple of years, Brian will trim them back, but they get the water that nature gives them. We do not touch them. They're on their own. And thus they live. Like, I noticed, like, a weird smell in my room, and I went over and there was my little pressed flower book, and it was like. But then again, this was also the 80s, so God knows what chemicals were in that paper. Because I had a lot of toys that were up on the high shelf that I couldn't reach because it was revealed that they had lead paint in them, and I would not let my mother throw them away because I wanted them so badly. So she just put them up on a really high shelf that I couldn't get to. So I could see them and still technically had them, so did not have a right to complain. The 80s were weird, y'all. They did not really care about safety at all. See lawn darts. Another thing that I played with all the time. Ooh, love a good cheese sauce. Right. I will see if I missed anything and put it into the food channel over in the Discord. Also, I saw that Mr. Spence put the recipe for the slow cooker Mongolian beef in the food channel over there, and may have added ingredients to the shopping list for this week. Because I do want to try. Comfort foods are the best foods.
Radishes.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. I'll have to find them because I'm hoping I still. Okay, so when I installed a certain piece of software onto this machine, it decided that it needed to clean up my hard drive.
Oh no.
And luckily I had a lot of stuff in backup folders, so it did no technical harm. But anything that was not in those backed up folders are gone because it did not put them in the recycle bin. It just wiped them from existence.
Oh no.
So as long as they weren't in one of those folders, I should be able to do that. Though they're probably somewhere on Discord because I probably went, look at this monster I made to somebody, probably Cat. Because I very often will send really obnoxious pictures to Cat and be like, look at the monster I just made. It's terrible. I hate it.
I thought you said you ate it.
I ate it. It tasted like candy. Ooh, Sloppy Joe's on garlic bread. Now that's just gilding a lily. And yes, please. Yes, especially a nice roasty one. Yes. Yes. Oh, that sounds so good. Oh, yes. 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 Yeah, it's a very simple recipe. I believe it came on the back of a Campbell soup can because it's just vegetarian vegetable soup, and it really needs to be the cheap stuff. Like, no quality soup can go into this product. You're making trash comfort food. This is very important. I cannot stress this enough. Like, you generally get like the crap Campbell's soup, condensed vegetarian vegetable. We've tried it with nicer soups. My husband, because is chef, made a really lovely vegetarian vegetable soup to use as a base for it. It does not work because it does not make sloppy joes. You now have hamburger soup. And we even tried condensing it down, and it made a very like it was still good, but it wasn't the right. It became too umami forward when we just like took a really good vegetable soup and condensed it so that it could be used into like a gravy, because it needs that kind of tomatoey flair from the vegetarian vegetable. Though if you don't have access to that, you can replace it with a lot of canned pizzas. I'm sorry, not pizza sauces. The canned spaghetti sauces. So they work really well. And I say that as opposed to the jarred ones, because again, the jarred ones are too tomato forward. And often to cook some of that tomatoey flavor out, it becomes too umami. Again, very good, but not the flavor profile that the little Vigo child in me wants when I'm having my ratatouille meal. Oh yeah, you have no idea. Like, okay, I was so happy when I found out that my family immigrated to the United States before the potato famine. Because I was convinced for a long time that I had inherited whatever curse my family had that caused the potato blight that made us have to move here. Like, because I'm very bad with plants. My father is really bad with plants. My grandfather was not, but my grandfather was a strange bird. And this is my grandpa Dorset, not my grandpa Smith. I've talked about both of them. One of these was a monster, and that was not my grandpa Dorset. But yeah, I was convinced that our family started the potato blight for a very long time because all of my grandfather's siblings are terrible with plants as well. Like, he's the one aberration in this. He's the outlier that proves the rule. But luckily, we were in this country before the potato blight, so. Yeah, me and plants is just bad. See, yeah, it's very simple. It's very good. You can flare it up as much as you want, or smooth it out as much as you want. Some people like it with cheese. Some people don't like it with cheese. It can be very good with like a chintzy, like iceberg lettuce, crispy thing in there. Very, very good. Yeah, sometimes, and it's a very cheap meal, and it's a very nice one to have because you can just have the cans in the pantry, and hamburger freezes really really well. So you buy it when it's cheap, you package it up in 1 pound blocks, you put them in your freezer, and then when you're like, I don't want to cook, you pull one or more of those out, put them on in the pan, and start cooking, cooking. Throw a can of soup in it, a couple other things. Huzzah! Food. And it's tasty food that you can trick yourself into thinking it's healthy because the can says vegetarian vegetable. How can it not be good for you? The can says vegetarian vegetable. And that has to be healthy, right? Don't actually answer that question.
So we
Ooh.
finally got the emails from Kickstarter because I backed a project.
Mhm.
Cthulhu Invades Wonderland. It's a graphic comic, and I'm getting some metal bookmarks as well. I'm very
Nice.
excited. So they're finally gonna get ready to ship.
Woo!
I just want the well, most things are better sprinkled with cheese. I just want the Old Gods of Appalachia team to send me a roadmap because we did the thing where I signed up and give them my address so that they could ship the things that have to be shipped and confirm the email for the things that are going to be emailed and all of the things you do post Kickstarter. And it's not that I don't trust them because Monty Cook's entire business has been based off of we're going to kickstart a game setting, and then they make the game setting, and then they go on and do another one. So like this isn't their first Kickstarter, but I would like to know what the roadmap looks like because I want to know when I can play because I'm in the beta test group. I'm in the play test group because we paid extra for that because there's nothing that says I'm so excited about a game. Like, yes, I will pay extra to play the bad version of this. Nothing shows your excitement more than that. Actually, it wasn't extra. It was just part of the tier that we bought. But
Yeah.
I would like to know when that might be starting. Like, I don't need a hard and fast date, but given
This
all of the
year,
things,
next year.
yeah, because given all the things I'm trying to organize for my own life, like I don't want to be playtesting the game for them and for me at the same time. I don't want to accidentally schedule my playtest because that's going to affect a lot of people because I want to have to rope other players in and other people that would want to run at least one game session of the game to see if they understand how to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like it's going to involve getting people involved. I don't want to be trying to do that while also beta testing somebody else's game at the same time. That is where madness lies, especially because we're developing this for the same game system because they're developing for Cypher. They created Cypher, but they're developing for Cypher. I'm developing for Cypher. So it will be very easy to get confused about which game had the bug because we're both developing for the same game system. You know, I just want answers. Ooh. Wait. Mario Kart's on the iPad? How did I not know that?
Surprise!
I'm going to have to look into this because I've been wanting to play Mario Kart for a long time, but not wanting to buy a Switch. Well, I do want to buy a Switch. It's just I don't have the extra cash lying around to buy a Switch at the moment. But we have
How
iPads.
much are Switches now?
I don't know, but if it's over like $1, I don't have it right.
Yeah.
Everything is wish listing right now.
So I think I need to go so I can walk Roy, and then I'm going to go read in the tub because we have hot water again after 30 hours. So,
Oh man, 30 hours without hot water is a long time to be without water or hot water.
yeah. At least we still had toilets.
Yes.
But yeah, so I'm going to go walk Zippleby and then try and chillax in the tub. Look.
I miss really enjoy yourself because I miss having tubs that I could actually do that. Like I could sit in our tub, but what I want to do is like relax my back muscles.
Mm-hmm.
And the only way to do that would basically be to somehow, like, because of my height and the width, like the length of our bathtub, I would have to like put my legs up the wall or something.
Yeah.
I want a big bath. I want a big bath.
So
I will
see
feed
you
you
all
after.
later.
Bye.
Bye. I can understand that. I've the other reason I have not bought a Switch is I am making sure that what little fun money I have is sitting there waiting for them to say, you can buy Slime Rancher too. Because I really want Slime Rancher too. Like, which will show you how excited I was about V Rising until I found out that I do not have a computer that can run it at all in my house.
Oh
That I was
man.
thinking of spending that money, my Slime Rancher money on it, but luckily I can't run that game. So my Slime Rancher money is going to be there for Slime Rancher too. My grandfather, my grandpa Dorset, had one of those really big claw-footed cast iron bathtubs.
Mhm.
And I have lovely memories of sitting in that thing as an itty-bitty child in this giant ocean of water that I felt was like a personal swimming pool just for me. And I loved it. Loved that thing. And that's kind of what I want. Like if you've ever seen, what was that rock movie where he finds out he has a secret kid? He's like a baseball player and he finds out he has a secret kid because she just shows up at his house one day.
Is that the one with the rock in it?
Yeah.
I want to say The Game Plan, but I don't think
Yeah,
that's
I think
right.
that's it. I think something like that. Anyway, I love watching that movie just for the scene with the bathtub. Like that movie's cute, don't get me wrong, but I want that bathtub. Like there's steps on all four sides that lead down on the inside of it. It's deep enough that even the rock can submerge to up to here. And yes, it has soap fountains for bubbles all over. Yes, I want this. I want it so bad. Like that is the ultimate luxury, and I needs it now. Valid choice. Very valid choice. Most Nintendo games are though.
Mhm.
Like that's always been a problem because, like back in, I got the original NES back when it came out because my sister bought it for me for Christmas the year it came out, which made me like the most popular kid in school because they were not easy to get when they first came out. But games back then, this would have been what, 80, I want to say like 87, 86, 87. The games were like $45 each in that day's money,
Mm.
which seemed like impossibly expensive. Like this was the just to give you a like in comparison, which might work for some people. Like you could go get a full album by an artist that you liked for like $7. So it's like 5 albums or 1 video game. And no, not the Tooth Fairy. I think it's the Game Plan. Yeah. But yeah, they were so expensive even back then. And it feels like they've only gone up. I mean, showers are nice and all, but I have to say, there's just something about a good long soak. You're just like, just let it all out, you know? So 87, yeah. So, somewhere around there. As I was explaining the other day, I am terrible with dates.
I can't take a bath here without worrying about the water shortage.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I'm using all this water. We need this water for drinking.
See, I'm looking at it as like right now would be medicinal because I have put so much stuff. Like what I need is muscle relaxers, which takes money that I don't have.
Mhm.
Because my My back muscles are so tight right now. Like anything for relaxation. I would be greatly appreciative thereof. Alrighty, let us say goodbye to our Jaeger friend. Goodbye. We still have one of
Hasta
you,
la
though.
vista.
I'm going to stick with my xenomorph.
I'm gonna stick with George.
Hopefully, here, actually, before we even start this, I am going to put up the backstage over here so I can see the timer and maybe not jump halfway out of my body when I hear it go off this time, because that was unpleasant. Okay, CB, have a good night.
Night.
Yeah. Sorry, I started a stretch, so I'm not going to stop it. Oh.
Stretch.
Ugh, so if you need to stretch, go ahead and do that thing. Make sure that you are saving your documents. Make sure that you are taking care of yourself. And when you hear weird sounds out in your garage, just know it's that stupid white cat trying to get into the trash again. And Brian's trap has been thwarted. We've got one of those automated spray cans that when you break the infrared light, it sprays water.
Uh-huh.
And he set that up, and that was keeping the cat out. But I just heard a bunch of noise in there. So either it scared a different cat that then panicked and knocked a bunch of stuff over, or the cat found a way around it and tried to get into the trash can again. And we will find out when he gets home. All right, let's get started on this sprint. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. George won.
Woo, I won.
Yay!
Woo.
And I actually caught that the alarm was about to go off and was watching the end of the race, so I didn't jump out of my skin. Okay, so I have gotten my genre defined. I just finished my reader experience portion of this. I am now on character agency. So, yay. I understand why this is so important. I am like mortified to be doing it because my brain and I are having fistfights. But it will be fine. But I'm happy with how I defined what I want the reader experience to be. I don't know how actionable it will be for other people that might need like a full like human readable version to be written up in future. But the primary audience for the meta that I'm writing right now is me.
Mm-hmm.
And for anybody who doesn't understand what I mean when I say the meta, these are the things about the setting and the story that are capturing why it is this project exists. Why do I want it to be here? What is motivating me? What do I want it to look like? What do I want it to feel like? How do I want it to be experienced? And what tone should it have? All of those kinds of questions. What are the inspirations for it? And this is very helpful to have written out as detailed as you can, because it comes to us all in any and all projects where you have a moment of, why am I doing this? Why am I putting myself through this? And when those happen, you load up your meta and you have this basically love letter to the project from you while you are in the core of your excitement about it, to try to talk yourself into continuing on, to keep going, to bring you back to where you initially intended it to be. Because sometimes when we get those feelings, it's because we kind of wandered off of what was keeping us excited about the project. And by having all of this captured, we can see that more easily and push ourselves back to the project that we were excited about and recapture that excitement for ourselves. So considering the size of the project that I am embarking upon, it is very important that I do this at the beginning, because this will be a very regular moment for me of, why am I doing this? Hello, Jules. You'll be cleaning, but we'll have this on and be listening.
Nice.
Have the fun with the cleaning. This is a thing that I keep telling myself I'm going to do.
Enjoy the results of the cleaning. You don't necessarily have to enjoy the cleaning, but enjoy the results of the cleaning.
True. Like I have a feeling that I'm going to need to get into the vents and clean out animal hair.
Oh, man.
Because it has been getting quite warm in here. And part of that is because the house is not the best insulated building in the world. And also, it's just been nightmarishly hot outside. But also, when you stand next to the vents or walk by any of the vents, it's just kind of a light, ever so lightly blowing air. And I can hear the fan on. We've checked the fan. The fan is fine. I think the vents, especially because the cats, I love you all, but they like to sleep on the vents as much as possible, which is why we have all kinds of obnoxious grates and things on top of the vents to try to keep the cats away from them. But they still sleep around them. And thus, in shedding times, their fur can get down on the inside of them. So I think they need a good cleaning. And the idea of pulling the vent out of the floor, shoving a tube down there to vacuum out all, it's just I'm done. I'm done just talking about it, and I haven't even done anything. I haven't stood up. I haven't grabbed any of the equipment, and I'm already done.
I feel that.
Ugh. So I'm assuming you were continuing to play the Addiction Skinner box.
I kind of was. I fed the dogs, and then I came back to the game, and I'm collecting frog legs right now. I need 100 frog legs, or was it 200? Either way, I need a ridiculous amount of frog legs. So killing frogs is what I'm going to be doing.
So just so people know, tomorrow I have my class as usual. So Brian and Tom will be starting the stream without me, and I will show up eventually at some point over on the Twitch. Friday, I've been wanting to do more gaming streams and stuff on Fridays, but I think unless I'm just completely wiped out, which is possible, we're probably going to be doing productivities on Friday because I really want to have all of this worked out before summer camp starts. Luckily, the decisions that were made, of course, is very last minute, that we've been talking about for several months before, didn't necessitate much change in a lot of the stuff that I had already written up, which is good. So I'm not having to go through and redo my prep work from earlier in the month. But it's really like when I'm thinking of the reader experience, for example, I have to think a lot broader than I was before, because I was thinking much more of like, how do I want people to experience this particular book series? I actually have, let's see, the Legends of Jade Moon series is published. I may kind of be working on book 5 in that series right now. I have a couple chapters written that may lead to a book 5 in that series. The Fates Horror stuff's already out, though really want to do kind of a rewrite of it. Not necessarily a rewrite, but a flesh out, because those were short stories. And I think especially the first and the third one should be novellas, at least. Well, the third one is close to a novella length. It's something like, I think like 11,000 words.
Mm-hmm.
So it is close, but a lot of events get yada, 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 because I had a word cap that those stories could not go over. But anyway, so that's out, and the Tales of Silver Fox books are out, and I am working on book 2 in that series. So there's all of those. Book 1 of The Mask of the Gods is about to come out. Book 1 in Secret Plot Bunny is well in the works. So that will be coming out, and Dance the Ghost should be getting finished. I've got like 8 chapters, I think, written in the first novella in that series. So there's a lot of fiction either currently out or on the cusp of being ready to release in this setting that I have to kind of encapsulate in these descriptions, as well as remember, I want people to play this game. So I have to think beyond just the stories that I have written and what is the experience of the setting that would make somebody go, ooh, I want to run a tabletop version of that for my friends.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what's slowing me down a lot, is usually when I'm writing a story, I write either specifically for myself. Like there's some stories that I just wrote because I wanted them. Oddly enough, those tend to be my best selling books. So maybe I should just do that from now on. But there's stories that I write just for me, and others that I write with a very particular person in mind that's kind of typical of that genre fan.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, when doing game, I need to be thinking a bit broader.
Mm-hmm. I can see how that could be difficult. Dinner.
It is, because you know, you have to think beyond the stories that you have, And I mean, the nice thing is, because I decided I did not want to have to develop a whole bunch of sci-fi settings, because that developing one sci-fi setting is a lot of work.
Mhm.
And I knew I had a lot of ideas. I decided very early on that all of my sci-fi stories took place in the same setting.
Mhm.
So they've just been building on each other. So that's nice. And everything from the like coming of age story that is the 4 Legends of the Jade Moon stories that are out, or the really dark and twisted romance story that is Shine Like Thunder. Because, yeah, it's yeah, like it's love and vampires and weird spirit things and an evil monster planet that's trying to destroy them. It's like all the things. Like there's a wide spectrum there. And Fate's Horror was very like straight up epic space opera madness. There's war and fighting and struggles over the truth and helping people and blah 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 blah. Yeah, all the things. That's not even getting into the newer stories that aren't out yet that I don't want to summarize so tersely. So, you know, luckily, because I've been doing that, I've had to broaden the setting out a lot already, which makes the work a bit easier.
Yeah.
But I actually pulled out, I should do a video with it. I pulled out the 3-ring, but no. Spiral notebook. And that I have, because everything for this, the idea that sparked this entire setting and every book that has come since, I wrote down in a notebook at Comic-Con Oakland in 2001.
Oh, wow.
And I pulled out that spiral bound notebook the other day and was looking through and just started laughing because there's a page in there that's just sketches of possible logo designs that I did when I named it. Because I'm me. And of course I did that. And some of them are bad and cringy and terrible. And I should pull that out and make a video sometime and be like,
that would be really fun.
I just could come up with the strangest places.
Get to see the process of your mind.
But yeah, we had just finished at the convention floor and went back up to our hotel room. And I, as always, had a bunch of stuff with me in case I felt like writing. And I just started I spent the day hanging out with Ryan Dacey. And oddly enough, talking about game design. Like this is like everything coming full circle. And like that wonderful moment of like, if I had only had the hindsight back then, who knows where I'd be now. But I spent the entire day hanging out with Ryan Dacey talking about game design and game mechanics because he was working with Wizards on the Coast on this new edition of Dungeons and Dragons. He was working on 3rd edition. He was one of the game designers for 3rd edition. And through our conversations with each other, that's where I got the initial idea for this setting and for the first set of stories. And actually, I don't know if I still have it or not. It'd be really fun to see if I still have it. My very first thing I tried to do with it was make a tabletop role-playing game. That was its original intent. I have the notes where I list out a lot of that, like possible character classes and like all that like stuff. But I wonder if I still have that really, because I think I wrote it using the Envoy system, which is a trash idea that never went anywhere, where somebody was basically trying, like it's not even a game system. Somebody just put forward this idea of why can't we all use the same language for the same things? Because we all have like, why are there 19 different words that all mean strength? Just say strength. You don't need another word for that. It's strength. Just say strength. Like you don't need 20 different ways to say dexterity. Just say dexterity. It's fine. Hit points are hit points. Just shut up now. Just say hit points. And it's a great like frustrated screed into the universe of, can we just agree that these are the words? And I started initially developing in that, and I wonder if I still have my old Envoy version of this game somewhere. I don't even know where that would be. Kind of want to make that my next sprint. It's like, we have 20 minutes left. I don't even know which room I would go into. Is that in the new office, or would that be in one of the boxes back where my office used to? Okay, so we're probably going to do one more sprint, but I'm probably not going to go looking for that because I don't know where it is. But Brian might. So I'm definitely going to ask him when he gets home. Because that would be an interesting thing to find. But anyway, the point of my story is keep everything that you can along the way. I get really frustrated when I hear writers talking about how they throw things away. Because, like I said, here I am 21 years later, still working in this sci-fi setting. I've got, I think, 6 published books out in this setting. Yeah, it sounds about right. And I've gone all the way full circle, and I'm back to trying to make it into a game. Which is what I initially wanted to do in the first place. And you never know when you're going to circle back around and go, I wonder if I still have that old version somewhere. I know I have the 3.5 version because I did briefly flirt with making it a 3.5 version of the game. And the only reason I didn't finish that is my friends got me running an Earthdawn game at the time. And I got so busy making the Earthdawn game that, because game design was, I was, my full-time job at that point was running various websites and doing web design and way too many podcasts and blogging. So I didn't have the time to make a game for the game session and make this private game for just me based off of my own world. So that's what killed it that time. I know I still have the 3.5 version of this. So I should definitely find that too, because that would be amazing. Oh, parm garlic bread in the oven.
Ooh.
Yeah, never delete anything. Or orphan scene folders or your friend. They really are. Because you never know when you're going to go back to stuff. I have some dead novels that are just sitting around that every now and then I pick them back up and just kind of, because I like the idea there's just something wrong with them that made them not work. And it would be magical if I could just figure out what that thing is and do a rewrite, or just fix that and continue writing from there, and then edit it all into shape, and then suddenly have a finished book instead of 50,000 words that are just sitting there that never really went anywhere. You never know when that might come in handy. Alrighty, let's say goodbye to George. We're going to go just slightly over, but is fine. I'm going to stick with my sweet little xenomorph. But
I'm
you
gonna go with the Stay Puffed.
say you have to pick somebody new because you're person one.
Yes. So I'm gonna go with the puffy guy.
Stay puff.
Yes.
Anybody asks you if you're a god, you say yes. I'm not even going to do an intro past that. Let's get started on the sprint in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! Gojira! Gojira Godzilla has won! Yay!
Woo!
Ah,
Ooh, Maggie is putting a frozen apple crisp in the oven now. I made an extra when I did the apple crisp vlog. Ooh.
I saw that and immediately felt a sense of, oh, I want that. Like, I don't know if envy is the right word when it comes to food, but whatever the food appropriate word is, that one. Because, yes, I love a good apple crisp. So much. But the good news is there's probably secret snickerdoodles hidden in this house, because I was brought 6 cookies last night, and I know he did not make a simple dozen cookies. Like, he would never do that. He's got too much chef in him. Just a simple 1 dozen cookies there that are probably more hidden somewhere. Coco Gachita! Oh my goodness. So I got nothing done. I'm not going to lie. I got absolutely nothing done. Somebody sent me a link to the teaser trailer for the new non-binary horror film by Blumhouse called They/Them. And watched it. And I have many concerns. I'm going to start with that. I have many concerns, but I also have a lot of questions, because it basically, okay, so the trailer, whoo, cat went away. The trailer is essentially, it looks like a knockoff Friday the 13th movie, because it's a bunch of teenagers that are coded as queer. I'm not going to say that they are, but there's a lot of very AMAB people dancing with feather boas and women in flannel looking sullen. So I'm assuming that would be gay men and lesbians, because that is how they are seen by the straight world. Going to a summer camp place, and then a masked killer starts killing them, maybe? Like, it doesn't explicitly show anybody getting killed. They just show weird mask thing that, of course, is slashed down the middle and has 2 distinct sides, but like has a slash, like
Mhm.
slash, not because get it, they/them. So assuming it's a non-binary serial killer, maybe, or something. I have so many questions, and I don't feel that Blumhouse is the studio that could do a good job at this.
Yeah, they don't exactly inspire confidence.
Yeah, like, not a lot of confidence there. And like, I can see how this got pitched. Like, I don't even need the dude that does the like movie pitches to do like the funny video. Like, I see it. Like, they were sitting there, they were really high, because I feel like all Blumhouse pitches start with everybody getting really high. Because, like, have you seen their movies? Like, descriptions of their movies, like, they just have this feeling like it's a bunch of people like baked within an inch of their lives, sitting around saying dumb things to each other, going, yeah, man, that would scare the crap out of people. Write it down. And the one unfortunate soul in the corner of the room who's there, who hasn't imbibed
Who's the
anything.
sober babysitter?
The sober babysitter who's there to take notes at these genius brainstorming sessions, having to write it down. And I can just see them all sitting around really, 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 really high going, I got it. They/them. Get it? Because it's a slasher movie. Get it? They/them. And then giggling madly into the night and thinking to themselves, nailed it. Like, because that's all I got out of this, because the whole trailer plays off of the slash motif. So the screen, let's see, which way is my screen pointed? Okay. So the screen is slashed like this in half, And so every time we meet a character, we see a happy version of them down here in this corner of the screen, and a really upset or somehow other emotion version of them on this side of the screen. Get it? Because slash. Get it?
Oh man.
I have so many feelings about this.
Oh, Maggie's gonna watch the Stanley Cup with the fam.
Ooh,
I didn't know that was going on.
I had no idea.
I like hockey too, which is funny. But I don't pay attention. Well, because I don't really have a TV, so it's not like I can watch it if I wanted to.
We have a TV, but we have not the cable. So we do, ironically, though, have an ESPN account, though I don't know that we've ever signed into it because it was cheaper to get Disney Plus and Hulu in the Disney Plus Hulu ESPN pack than it was to get them separately. So we technically have an ESPN account.
That's funny.
But I don't think it's ever actually been used. I don't even know if I ever set up the username and password for it. I'm assuming it's the same one for the other two, but I don't know. I should try to sign into it because I like watching the football, as in real football, as in soccer.
I like watching the figure skating when that's on.
Love watching figure skating. So maybe I should look and see, because those might be a thing that we can watch on there. I don't know. So I just loaded up the playlist because we're on the YouTube. Had a moment of it's time to raid somebody, and then realized I'm on YouTube and don't have 1,000 subs yet. And noticed, hey, I'm on it, which is awesome. Didn't know I had been added back on. That's cool. JC Carpenter is currently streaming. Power Play Press is currently streaming. Haley Wrights is currently streaming. And Sarah Nichols is currently streaming. Wow,
There
are a lot of people currently streaming. And then that's the end of the playlist for the day. So everybody else that's going to be streaming today is currently streaming. So you have choices. Here, let me grab a link and throw it into the channel thingy in case somebody needs it. If you don't know Devin's wonderful playlists, they're a great way to find your way around in the AuthorTube writing sprint world. But yeah, I'm probably going to be obsessively searching information on which I think starred Kevin Bacon, that looked like Kevin Bacon, except for from a couple angles, it didn't look like Kevin Bacon, which makes me wonder if they found an actor who looked a lot like Kevin Bacon to put in it, or if Kevin Bacon's had face work that I didn't know about. One or the other. Something happened.
I think Kevin Bacon is in it because I typed in they, them trailer / and Kevin Bacon, and okay. Ooh, interesting. So he is in it.
Which is, no offense to Kevin Bacon, but it's kind of like finding out that Nicolas Cage is in a movie. That means nothing. It really means nothing. The reason why we play 6 Degrees from Kevin Bacon. He's in a lot.
So the director, I think, is the script writer and executive producer of They Them is gay. So that is interesting.
That's better than them being straight, but
that still doesn't, yeah.
No offense to cis people out there, but I've had many conversations with people who are like, I would like to write a non-binary character. What is that like? And tried to explain. And I know that there is a wide gulf. It's kind of like when I'm like, I would like to write a cisgendered character. Could you please explain this to me? It's a very different world and mindset. So
this just sounds like a trip. The more I read about it, the more
it's a Blumhouse movie. All Blumhouse movies sound like a bunch of high people. I mean, really high. So high. Cheech Marin would and Tommy Chong would be like, please stop, just riffing for a while and giggling madly. I feel like that's the brand for Blumhouse.
Yeah, based on just this.
Because
Wow.
yeah. Oh. Alrighty. Now that I've like completely been distracted from everything that I was doing and all productivity, have the fun, y'all. Tomorrow we will be on Twitch. Brian and Tom will be starting the stream, and I will be showing up sometime after class. And Friday we will also be doing the thingies over on the Twitch and thingies.
Woo.
Probably productivity because I need to get stuff done. Alrighty, y'all. Have the fun. Hire Megan over on Fiverr. And where's my buttons? Bye.
Bye.